There is a sound your cat knows better than almost any other sound in your home. It is the click of a door closing with you on the other side of it. And whatever your cat does in the next 30 seconds, sit, scratch, cry, or go completely silent, it is not the random thing it looks like. By the end of this, you will understand exactly what your cat is doing on the other side of that door and why it has almost nothing to do with missing you. No fear-mongering, no invented science, just 4 things that are actually happening, and one of them will probably surprise you. And stay with me to the last one, because there is a specific thing some cats do at a closed door that means the exact opposite of anxiety, and most owners read it completely backwards. Reason 1. The door puts a hole in their map. Start here, because everything else sits on top of it. Your cat does not experience your home as rooms. They experience it as one continuous territory that they have personally checked, and a territory is only useful if it stays verified. A closed door does not read to your cat as privacy. It reads as a section of the map that has gone dark. And here is the part that reframes the whole behavior. You are not a resident of that territory. You are the part of it that moves. Every other feature of your cat's world stays where it was left. The sofa, the windowsill, the food bowl, all of it holds still and behaves. You are the single unpredictable element in an otherwise stable system, which means you are the one thing that constantly needs rechecking. So when a door closes between you, your cat has not lost their favorite person. They have lost track of the only moving piece. Reason 2. They are following your voice, not your body. Here is the fact that catches people off guard. Your cat's eyesight is genuinely poor at close range. At the distance of a doorway, your face is a soft, low detail shape to them. They have never once identified you by your face the way you assume they do. What they actually use is sound. A 2013 study by Saito and Shinozuka at the University of Tokyo tested whether cats could distinguish their owner's voice from strangers' voices, and they could, reliably responding differently to the one they knew. Notice what that means at a closed door. Your cat is not staring at a blank piece of wood. They are standing at the one point in the house where your voice, your footsteps, and the small sounds you make are loudest, and they are simply continuing to track you through it. That is why so many cats sit with their side or their ear against the door rather than their face. They are not looking, they are listening. If your cat does something at a door that you have always wondered about, tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And keep watching, because the next one explains the cats who follow you around all day and then say nothing at all when the door shuts. Reason 3. The door interrupts a check-in loop you never noticed. Most owners think their cat either follows them or ignores them. What is really happening is quieter and more constant than that. Cats maintain contact through short, low-effort check-ins throughout the day, a glance from a doorway, a walk past your chair, a moment of sitting in the same room doing nothing at all. Those check-ins are cheap, and that is exactly the point. The closed door is the only moment in the entire day when a check-in becomes impossible. Not harder. Impossible. A 2020 study led by D'Souza Machado looked at separation-related behavior in domestic cats and found something the old stereotype gets badly wrong. A meaningful number of cats show clear behavioral responses to being separated from their person. The independent, unbothered cat is a story we told ourselves, not something the behavior supports. But notice the size of what is actually happening here. This is not heartbreak. It is a routine that hit a wall. Your cat is not grieving on the other side of that door. They are waiting for a loop to close. Reason 4. You are their reference point and the door removes it. This is the one that changed how I read this behavior. In 2015, researchers led by Marola tested something called social referencing in cats. They introduced an unfamiliar, slightly strange object into a room and then watched what the cats did. The majority of them looked at their owner first and then adjusted their own behavior based on the owner's reaction. Calm owner, calm cat. Uneasy owner, cautious cat. Read that again because it is doing a lot of work. Your cat is not just aware of you. Your cat is using you continuously as the instrument that tells them whether the room is fine. Now, put a closed door in the middle of that. A noise happens in the hallway. The heating clicks. Something shifts outside the window. And the one reference your cat would normally check is behind a piece of wood. That is what the sitting and the waiting is. Not longing, a cat standing at the nearest available point to the only source of information they trust. The thing most owners read backwards. Here is what I promised you at the start. Some cats do not scratch, do not cry, and do not pace. They lie down a meter or so from the door, often facing away from it. Tail still, eyes half closed, and stay there until you come out. Almost every owner reads that as the cat giving up or losing interest or being aloof about it. It is the opposite. A cat lying down with their back to something has decided that thing is not a threat, and lying down at all is a posture of committed waiting, not of dismissal. They are not sulking at your door. They have parked at the edge of the gap in the map and settled in until it fills back in, and when you do open it, watch the tail. A tail that goes straight up as you appear is one of the most well-established friendly signals a cat has, and it is voluntary. They choose to send it. Nothing was wrong. Something was simply unfinished, and now it is finished. The honest truth for the owner whose cat cries at the door. One honest note, because this topic splits people into two groups and both deserve an answer. If your cat waits quietly, none of this is a problem to fix. If your cat howls, scratches hard enough to damage the door, or does this every single time you leave a room, that is worth taking seriously, not with guilt, but with attention. Persistent distress at separation, especially alongside changes in eating, grooming, or litter box habits, is worth a calm vet conversation first to rule out anything medical, and a behavior discussion after that. Not a crisis, just a thing a good owner looks at rather than looks past. And if your cat does none of this, if your cat genuinely does not care when you shut a door, that is not a colder cat or a weaker bond. That is a cat whose map is so secure that a temporary gap in it does not need checking. Confidence and attachment are not opposites, and a cat who does not need to follow you is not a cat who does not want to. So the next time you close a door and hear that small shift on the other side of it, you will know what is actually going on in there. Your cat is not lonely, and your cat is not being difficult. Your cat is holding a map of the world, and you are the only part of it that moves, and the only part they cannot afford to lose track of. The door was never a rejection to them. It was just the one thing in your whole house they cannot see through. If this made you look at your cat a little differently, All Like helps YouTube put honest cat behavior in front of the next owner still guessing. And if you would rather understand your cat than guess at them, that is the whole reason this channel exists. I will see you in the next one.